Hey guys, it's Calvin from the Catching Company in New Zealand. Old Yellow's doing something different today, as you might see in the background, and we need to set up some pulleys to make it all work. I happen to be a distributor for Elate over in Australia, and what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at some belt routing. This customer, I believe, I'm going to check, he's running an aircon pump, I think, but he's not running a power steer. That's leaving. So we're going to put a bracket there. This is going to become a smooth pulley. This is the supercharger. And we're going to put another one in here to bring it through, round and up to that supercharger. Now the supercharger on this one happens to be an HTV 1900. It's actually sitting on a Bullet Supercars manifold. The vehicle that it came off is built in Australia. Hey, and they're a really, really neat bit of kit, okay? And I'm not going to knock that stuff at all because I've used it and it's been great. But I've also got a pretty good relationship with Travis at Elate, and he's a bloody good guy. And he's really trying to help people out. So if you see him on Facebook or you see him make comments, he's not out there all the time, but when he does comment, he's getting in there, he's supporting his products, and he's really knowledgeable. And it's really fantastic for guys like me as well, to have other guys that are really knowledgeable and wanting to share that knowledge. And Travis produces some cool stuff, okay? So let's have a look at what we got. We've got a basic flat idler. Let's put that on to start with. At this point, it's probably prudent to suggest reading the instructions. That's quite an important aspect of doing jobs like this, if there are instructions. And my man Shay, he actually, my helper, he actually said he likes things that come with instructions, but these items came without instructions, but there are instructions on the Elate website. So if you find your way in and you navigate the menus in there, there are instructions on how to do this job. And it makes a couple of little suggestions. Shows about the cover that goes over the top and how that flicks on. And it also says about removing the little boss. What did I do with that boss? This boss, this one. So that is this boss here. And the suggested technique was actually vice grips. I actually prefer to use like a hammer and like a chisel or a screwdriver. I'm not sure I can do this with one hand. So it's Travis's instructions suggest grabbing this with some vice grips. You saw how I got the last one out, eh? You saw me just finesse in there with the...
Does it then not work with this one?
Well, I haven't tried. I'm following the instructions.
Oh, okay.
There it goes. Did you see it move?
Yep.
That does actually work.
Is it damage to the product?
The gravity's working anyway. We're glad about that, aren't we?
No.
Well, you're not happy about gravity today.
Not any day. It stops us going faster.
So I normally do something like this and just get into the back. I actually used the blue one the other day.
Yes.
I used that blue one which just got onto the lip and then it just pops out like that. Same sort of thing. So both techniques work. This is the big screw. Oh, didn't quite get in there with the big screwdriver.
Ta-da!
Yeah. So I do remember that, and by removing that, it means that this will actually sit on back far enough and will help with the belt alignment. And the belt does run quite close to the back of this pulley. But that is okay. So don't forget to take that out.
We use one of those power steering blocks.
So that's that one done. It's got a cool little cover.
Where does it go? On the bolt?
Yeah, mate.
That's not going to fit on there, is it? Like a glove.
Check that out.
How do I get it off?
You buy flowers.
That doesn't even work.
So we can, the belt route up from the aircon, come through here like this. And I've probably put the, wrong way.
Look, there's a lot of belt going on.
There's a lot of belt going on, man. So it fits there like that. Alrighto. It's really dark in here. If we look in here, this is a stud. And that's a bolt, that's okay. But that being a stud causes us a problem. And I don't have an idler of any kind here. So I'm going to change that for an idler. And I'm going to whip that stud out. With the pulley, it does come with some cap screws. Big long ones. I just put old yellow back together too to make it kind of complete as I could. We're going to put an aircon pump on it. And I'm going to whip this power steer off it. This one doesn't quite suit this charger, but that one goes sort of basically on there. On I think 58 to 60 millimeters that hole on the charger snout. So that's another option for pulleys, of course. So this is a pulley assembly I normally use. But in this case, it's my test engine. I'm not going to put a new pulley assembly on. I'm going to run it with this one, which is an early, like this is off an early Crown engine. I'm going to put that one on it. That one's going back in its box for the moment. I better take the stud out that I need to take out, eh? That fella.
Where's that? I saw this mounted before. What can I see it now?
Is your back on?
Oh, no, that's the back over there.
Oh, that's your back on?
Yeah.
And there's your front holes here?
Oh.
I took them off.
That's why I can't see them.
That'll be it, eh?
That'll be it, mate.
I took it off.
That'll be it. They're gone. They're not even there anymore.
I don't need to put a bolt in there because that's where my new studs go.
Alright.
When you're putting these on, see there's tabs.
Yep.
So you've got to make sure that they hook in behind.
Locate.
Take down the face. I probably need to put some bolts in the supercharger just because we're going to pull it down otherwise.
I'd say this one's too long too, eh?
Yeah, that might be one of the bolts that goes here. It is too long. So with the pulley on, and that pulley on, it allows it to go round an aircon pump, around here, around here, around there, and this one needs to be a little bit shorter. I need to last a slightly shorter belt because this one's got it was designed for an aircon pump.
Yep.
And you see it's touching here, so that's not going to work. But if we pull a little bit out of that belt, bring that down there like that, and that will work perfectly. And it's not touching here.
Can you set that to wherever you want it?
It's just a big spring.
Yeah.
So you want it down. There's a mark up in here where it should go. So you actually want it way down there like that.
Oh yeah, and so is this the locating mark?
Here. But you're not going to see in there, but
Yeah.
there's an arrow and there's there.
Yeah.
So right down there.
We can just see it.
But if we get it right down there, that's going to work. The route's up nicely. It's pretty close here, eh?
It depends on where. No, because it's big going this way. Is it right? No, big going that
When
way.
it's tensioned up, it's not touching. There's 3 mils worth of clearance.
Yeah. What about like under load? Where is the slack going to go to? This part of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to work, eh?
Looks like it.
Looks like it.
I'm not sure. How do you lock that into place?
That's just... It's a big spring. Self-adjuster. Self-tensioning.
Ah, okay, okay. So it'll load itself up.
Yep.
Pull itself down to the where it should be.
Well, of course we're going to have a shorter belt.
Yep.
Bring it down there. It definitely means a mod for the top hose too. You're not going to be coming through the top here, are you?
No, we had.
You're not going to be coming through here.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to put him out there.
That might be a new piece that we actually have to fabricate up. And the clearance is going to be really tight though.
That's aircon
With supercharger.
with supercharger and power steered elite. Of course, if this had a power steer pump on it, that pulley would be bigger
Yeah.
and our belt would be the right length.
Ah.
You want me to put the power steer pump back on it to show you?
No.
So
no.
that's working like we wanted. And with the power steer pump back on,